Okay, Ma, so here's how this works. We're just gonna do it like a conversation. It'll just be you talking to me.
Okay.
You don't even, the camera doesn't pretend like the camera's not even there. And we're on camera. So, I wanna ask you to now you were born in New Jersey?
New Jersey.
You were born in Newark, New Jersey.
1925.
In 1925.
It's a long time
A
ago.
long time ago. And was it Essex County or do you remember what county that is? But that was in Newark, New Jersey. Do you remember what street you lived on when the family was born? Because you were only there for a couple of years, right?
Yeah, we moved to New York.
You moved to New York after a couple of years. And you moved to the Bronx or to Manhattan?
Well, we moved first to the Bronx.
Okay.
Later we moved to Manhattan and back to the Bronx.
And back to the Bronx.
That's what you do when you're a Bronxite.
So why did Grandpa Sam and Grandma Fanny, why did they want to move to New York from New Jersey? Do you know? Was it for business or something?
I think maybe Grandma's family was there.
Oh, okay.
And Jean.
And Jean?
We were very close.
And so Fanny wanted to be near
I
Jean?
think that's the reason.
And Bobby and Jeannie were born when you were in New York.
Yeah.
They were born in New York. And so, what did Grandpa Sam do? What was his job when y'all lived in the Bronx?
Well, he worked for the railroad, but then he left that job for some reason. It was a very good job. But he left it, and he, after some time being out of work, he went to work as an elevator operator in a very prestigious building. And
In Manhattan?
in Manhattan, on 94th Street in Manhattan. And all his tenants loved him. Come Christmas, it was like the best thing for us.
Really?
Money.
Oh.
Money. No presents, just money.
That's wonderful. And so, what was it like as a kid growing up in New York City?
Like a kid, I think, in any city.
Yeah.
You find a friend or two that you hang out with. And,
Who were your best friends as a kid?
there was a girl whose name was Ruth Booth.
Ruth Booth?
And she was a twin. She had a brother, Bobby. And she and I were close friends. And her father was an elevator operator too, so we had a lot in common. And I had another girlfriend whose name was Barbara Lange. She was very pretty. And I think her family may have been in show business.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly. I was pretty young.
And what did y'all do as young kids? What kind of games did you play?
Hopscotch.
Hopscotch?
We mostly brought our dolls and played house.
And
Today I'll be the mama, you be the daddy.
and did you have a lot of family in the area? Did Fanny and Sam have a lot of family?
Well, not Grandpa, no. Grandma has Aunt Anna lived in the Bronx with Uncle Sam and their children. And we were pretty close. We lived like around the corner from them, and they had a private home. They were very wealthy.
That was Fanny's sister?
One of her older sisters, my Aunt Anna.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can't remember. Of course, Aunt Jean was like a second mother to me.
Yeah.
Always bought me clothes and everything.
And I know Harry Kohlenbrenner, your grandpa, Grandpa Kohlenbrenner.
Yeah.
He.
It was Grandpa Sam's father.
Grandpa Sam's father. Was he always around when you were growing up, or was that not until later on?
I don't remember him when I was very young.
Yeah, just when you were older.
Yeah.
I remember the wedding pictures.
Yeah.
And he had the big yarmulke, the tall yarmulke. So, can you tell us about how you first became a Barbizon model?
Well, I never thought about that until somebody, probably some young man, told me that I was beautiful and that I should be a model. I didn't know what a model does. So anyway, that's the way it started.
And tell us about some of your most memorable times as a model. What's your favorite memory as you think back, or some of your favorite memories as you think back to when you were a model?
I think I met celebrities that really thrilled me. And, I didn't have to go back to school. That thrilled me more.
Did you do it when you were done with high school? Or did you do it while you were still
done with high school.
Okay.
I had graduated high school.
Yeah.
And instead of going to college, I became a model.
And did they sent you on different shoots around town?
Yeah, right.
So they called you, or did you go into an office and they tell you where to go?
Well, if I went in the office, then they would, but sometimes they couldn't reach me, so they kept trying to get me, and then I came in. But it was pretty exciting.
Was that before you met Pa, or after?
Before.
Okay. And then you worked in the shipyard during the war.
That was during the war. I was only 17 years old.
Oh, you were only 17 when you worked in
the shipyard.
What
I
did
was a shipbuilder. Believe that.
You were a shipbuilder. How was it hard to learn how to do your job? Yeah.
No. I'm trying to remember actually what I did. I think they had me mostly in the office.
In the office mostly?
Yeah, I was a young girl.
And what shipyard was it? Was it Philadelphia?
Philadelphia Navy Yard.
So every day.
I'll never forget that.
So you had to take the train from Bronx to Philadelphia every day?
No, I think I lived in Philadelphia with my aunt and uncle.
Was that Aunt Jean?
No, it was Aunt Betty.
Aunt Betty.
Uncle Cy.
Uncle Cy was Sam's brother.
Brother.
Okay.
And I lived with them.
In Philadelphia?
In Philadelphia.
And then you went to the naval yard every day?
Mm-hmm.
Had you finished high school at that point?
I was done with high school.
You just when you finished high school?
Yeah, but I didn't go to college. I went to work.
Is that what all the girls did during the war? Did all the girls go to work right after college?
I don't know.
Okay.
Mostly, I think.
Yeah.
Friends of mine did.
Friends of yours did? And when did you first meet Pa?
Yeah, when did I meet him?
Wasn't it a shidduch? Wasn't it a shidduch? No?
I don't think it was. No.
Or your mother, Fanny knew Sadie? Did Fanny know Sadie?
We lived, I think, in the same house, in the apartment house in the Bronx.
Okay.
Maybe that's how I met him. Maybe it was in the Army when I met him.
I thought I remember you telling me that Sadie told Fanny that she wanted to set up Pa on a date with you, but I don't remember.
Ooh.
I don't remember.
My mother-in-law I have to thank for this, huh?
Well, was was he a police officer at the time?
No. Oh, just a minute. I think I first met him when he was in the service.
When he was in the service.
And then when he got out of the service, he joined the police department.
So you met him when he came back in between when he was in the service.
Right.
And did he call you one day and ask you for a date?
Why can't I remember? It's so important.
I thought I remember you telling me that he called you
He must have.
and asked you for a date, but you said that you had another date.
Oh. But I broke it probably to go out with him. But I knew he was so handsome.
Yeah.
very handsome.
Do you remember what date, when you all went on dates, where did you go?
Usually a movie. I love the movie.
Yeah.
And I remember going with him to a bar. And I didn't drink yet. Then I started. Then we would watch a big television screen in the bar. And when the music played, we danced. And we fell in love.
Do you remember when he asked you to marry you? You don't remember how he proposed?
I think it just happened.
It just happened?
Yeah, it's just like, this is it, Annette.
And where was the first place that you lived together? Is it in the Bronx?
In the Bronx.
Across from the stadium, right? Didn't you live right near?
Near Yankee Stadium.
Near
sure.
Yankee Stadium?
We would have to have baseball in my life at that time.
Well, you were a big baseball fan, right?
Very.
So when what was did you live in an apartment or a house when you first got married?
An apartment.
An apartment?
Yeah.
And Pa was a police officer.
Then he was already a police officer. Just started.
Where was his beat? Was he in the city in Manhattan or?
No, he was in the Bronx.
He was in the Bronx also.
He had his beat was in the Bronx.
Okay.
He was a very good police officer.
Yeah. Well, he had some pretty prestigious assignments, didn't he? I remember when the mayor of Dublin came.
Oh, he came. Yes, he did have.
And the mayor of Dublin was Jewish. The mayor of Dublin was Jewish.
He was, of course.
Yeah. And Pa got to take him around the city. So.
He had good times also. He remembered sometimes the bad, but he did have some good times.
Some good times as a police officer. What were some of the bad things that he remembered when he would look back on that time?
Bad?
Yeah. What did he face any discrimination? Did Pa was anti-Semitism?
No, not that I know of.
Oh, that's good. So when Pa was working before Eddie and Mike were born, before the twins were born, were you working also, or did you stay at home and were you a homemaker?
No, I was working.
Where were you working when you first got married? Do you remember?
I have to think a minute.
Okay.
Probably in an office.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where my training was, in an office.
And so then one day you became pregnant with a girl. You thought it was a girl named Marcia. It was going to be named Marcia Ellen.
Yes, it would have been Marcia Ellen. Michael Edmund, Marcia Ellen.
And was that after? Were they named after someone? Mike and Eddie were the.
The M would be after my grandmother, after Grandma Fanny's mother.
Who is Fanny's mother?
Her name was Mariam.
Mariam?
Mariam Elka.
Elka.
Was named after her.
And
I hardly remember her.
She lived in the U.S. Fanny's mom? Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Mariam.
they lived in the country in Fleischmann's.
Oh, they lived up north.
Up in the country. Yeah.
And so you had and who is Eddie? Where'd the E come from? E. Who is Eddie? Who's my dad named after?
Probably my grandma Esther.
Esther, Grandma Esther. And Esther was whose mom?
Grandpa Sam's
Sam's mom. So.
She was a tiny little lady.
Yeah?
Black hair, but pretty.
Can you describe your grandparents as best as you remember them?
My grandma, I remember, pretty long black hair.
That's Esther?
Esther. And Grandpa Sam, big man. with a white mustache.
And that's Fanny's father. Grandpa Sam. And he was a big man with a white mustache.
That's not Sam. Sam was on Daddy's side. What was his name? What was my grandpa's name? Might have been Sam too. Not
Yeah,
sure.
that's Esther's husband.
Yeah.
He was a big man though?
He was a big man. I remember his white mustache.
Did they all speak Yiddish? Or did they speak English?
English.
Yeah. And then, and Sam's parents were Mariam and Harry. Harry Cohenbrunner?
Very cool. And that's Grandpa Sam's.
Father, and
Esther was his mother.
Esther was his mother, or Mariam?
No, Mariam.
Mariam was Fanny's mother?
Yeah,
Oh,
Mariam.
okay. So, can you what was your mom like? What was your mom's personality, Grandma Fanny?
Very loving.
Loving?
Very loving, very sweet. Very accommodating
Yeah.
to anybody that she could. Very smart.
What kind of mother was she? Was she strict mother or no?
No,
No.
no. I wouldn't allow a strict mother. She was good.
Did she help you out a lot when the twins were born?
Oh yes, so much.
Where was she living at the time?
In the Bronx.
She lived in the Bronx also.
Yeah, she lived in the East Bronx and I lived in the West Bronx.
So did she take the train over every day, or the bus, or?
I wonder, it must have been a bus
And so she came over to help you.
every day. Every day she was there.
Was she good with the boys? Yeah.
They loved her.
It must have been hard having your first kids be twins.
It was like impossible. I don't know how I did it. That's how I got in the shape I'm in. Raise a set of twins.
Yeah, that'll keep you in good shape. Okay, so you lived in the Bronx when the boys were born, and Fanny came over, your mom came over every day to help.
Every day.
Was Aunt Jean still around?
Yes, but she was working in Manhattan.
Oh, she worked in Manhattan, okay.
Yeah.
What did she do?
A
Secretary?
dress shop.
Oh, she
worked
she
in
was
dress
a
shop,
seamstress?
And then she bought her own business.
Oh, really? Tell me about this chicken farm. Didn't somebody buy a chicken farm?
Yeah, I think Grandpa Sam bought the chicken farm.
Grandpa Sam bought a chicken
And we
farm.
all lived on it.
When was that?
I was about 3 or 4.
So this is when they moved from New Jersey.
Yeah.
And they bought a chicken farm. Was it near Fleischman's in upstate? Where was it?
It was in Jersey.
It was in Jersey, okay. And the chicken farm went under.
Did it?
I don't know.
I don't know, I'm thinking. I was too young to know anything about finances.
Yeah.
But I remember they told me one day I had to be spanked because I let all the chickens out of the coops.
Oh no.
Deserved a spanking.
So when the boys were born, where was Pa was still a police officer, and Fanny came over and helped you every day. What about
Every day.
Grandpa Sam? What was he doing at that time?
He was home in Jersey.
Probably still working as a elevator.
He did.
operator.
That's right, he was still working there.
Yeah.
836 Central Park West was his address.
And so, and Sam was one of how many boys?
No, I'm sorry, 6 boys.
6 boys. Sam,
Uncle Joe,
Joe,
Uncle Al,
Al,
Uncle Jack,
Jack,
Bill.
Bill,
I'm forgetting somebody.
Abish. Oh, you said Al. Abish was Al.
No, Abish was on Grandma's side.
Oh,
He
okay.
was on the Abe.
So, Grandpa Sam,
Cy,
Cy, Joe, Jack, Bill,
Al, and Bill.
and Al. Okay. And Fanny had how many brothers and sisters? She had a lot too. 8. Dave, Abish,
Uncle Lou.
Lou.
He's the one that owned Camp Chirico later in life.
He owned a camp in Fleischmann's.
Yeah. And then there was
Jean, Anna,
Clara,
and Mama. I think we had 7.
I left somebody out.
So Anna was the wealthy one.
Yeah, pretty much. She had her own home.
She had her own home, which was a lot back then.
That was a lot.
And Clara, and Jean was like a second mother to you, you said.
Oh, yeah.
And Clara, what do we know about Clara?
She had 4 daughters.
4 daughters.
My cousin Ida. Sid. And 2 more. I remember Sylvia. There's another one there somewhere.
And did they all live in that area? Did they all live in New York? All the grandpas and grandma's families, brothers and sisters, or were they all over?
I think at that time they lived either in the city or maybe still in Fleischmann's.
In Fleischmann's, either in the city or upstate.
Yeah.
You have a lot of fond memories of Fleischmann's, don't you?
Oh, yes, I love Fleischmann's.
Tell me about Fleischmann's. Tell me what it was like to visit Fleischmann's.
We used to go to a farm, Streeter's Farm in Fleischmann's, where I used to gather the eggs for the farmer. Learned how to milk the cows. Only let me milk when he was finished milking because he didn't want me to lose any.
Right.
That was fun.
And did you go up there every summer?
Every summer.
And it was Lou's farm? Was it Lou's farm?
No, Lou had a summer camp.
Oh, had a summer camp. Okay, I gotcha.
The farm was my grandparents'.
The farm was?
Grandma and Grandpa's farm.
Grandma and Grandpa's farm. Yeah. Grandma and Grandpa... Wilder. So Fanny's parents.
Yeah, I think so.
And so they had chicken.
Who were incidentally cousins to the Brenners somehow. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they were somehow related to the Brenners.
Yeah.
So, did you do that every summer for all those years growing up?
Mm-hmm.
And did Fanny and Sam come with you?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Just Fanny.
Okay.
Daddy would come up on his vacation for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
That's all.
But you got to spend the whole summer. What was it like going to high school?
It's good.
Yeah?
I used to get a bus on the corner.
What's the name of it? Did your high school have a name? Or was it just a number?
It was Theodore Roosevelt High School.
Oh, Theodore Roosevelt High School. And weren't you didn't you win an award for Italian? You won the Italian award, right?
I won the Italian medal, yeah.
Which meant that you were the best student in Italian.
The best.
Do you remember any words?
Bad ones.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so, what else do we want to ask about? So, when you had Uncle Freddie and Stevie, how was life different when Freddie and Stevie were around? Had you moved out to Queens yet?
Yes. I lived out it was like moving to the country, a small town.
Yeah. Did you?
Rosedale. Rosedale was wonderful.
How did you and Pa decide to move to Rosedale?
Well, he knew I wanted a house.
Mm-hmm.
And we looked in the Bronx, like North Bronx, but we didn't see anything. And I don't know how we got in touch and got somebody from Jersey. It was somebody from Jersey, I think, that got us.
Somebody from Jersey helped you get the house?
Yeah.
And
Oh, it was so wonderful having my own home.
yeah. What did you like about it?
I loved about it. I was the boss.
What were your boys like as kids? What were the boys like as kids?
Mischievous.
All of them?
Well,
Who was the most mischievous of them as little kids?
I think Uncle Steve, because he got away with everything.
Because he was the baby? And what was Uncle Fred like as a kid?
He was shy.
He was shy?
He was shy, but a good ball player.
Okay.
He got into a ball team and he was very good.
And he made friends through playing sports?
He did. And I learned how to play mahjong. And then I had my mahjong game.
And were you living in Florida when you learned how to play mahjong?
No, in the Bronx.
In the Bronx? Or in Queens?
Queens.
Queens. Who were the ladies that you played mahjong with back in Rosedale?
Rosedale, well, it was my neighbors mostly. It was Mary Azara
Mary Azara,
and Mary Acabellis
Mary Acabellis,
and Evelyn Gambecki
Evelyn
and
Gambecki,
me.
and you. You were the only non-Italian of the group, huh? Were you the only non-Italian of the group?
No, Evelyn was Irish.
Evelyn was Irish. Her last name isn't Irish.
Her husband's Polish.
Oh, okay.
But the rest of us, Italian.
And now didn't you and Pa start the or you were part of the people who started the synagogue?
We were 30 families in town and formed the Rosedale Jewish Center, where they had their bar mitzvah.
Where all the boys were bar mitzvah?
Yes.
Was
Except Steve. Steve was in Florida.
Did you go out and find a rabbi, or how did that work? Did you have to hire a rabbi, or do you remember? Were you part of the group who did that?
Wonderful Rabbi.
Yeah.
Rabbi Fader, I believe, was first, and then Rabbi Birnbaum officiated at the Twins.
Yeah, I've heard Dad talk about Rabbi Birnbaum before.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so when you look back, on your life, what was your favorite time? Favorite years?
Way back. I think high school.
Really?
I think so. I had a lot of friends, a lot of boyfriends at that age.
Yeah.
That I liked.
Yeah. You got a lot of attention.
A lot.
And I remember, it seems like you and Pa always had a lot of friends. Seems like you and Pa always had a very active social life.
Very.
Yeah. Who initiated that? Was that more you or Pa? Who initiated it
I
more?
was in this.
You were?
Yeah, I think so.
You always made friends wherever you went.
I tried to.
Yeah, you're good at that. Who are some of your friends that you've had for the longest amount of time?
My friend Anita Gable.
Anita Gable?
She was in Rosedale.
And you're still in touch with Anita?
Yeah.
Wow.
She has 3 sons. And she lives in Florida, not North Florida, but halfway up, I think St. Lucie.
St. Lucie.
Yeah, we see her a few times a year.
And didn't you have a cousins club at one point? Wasn't there a cousins club because there were so many cousins?
Yes, we had a cousin.
We have cousins all over, don't we?
We do, and they all used to come.
Now, we're related to Billy Wilder, right?
Yeah, Grandma's first cousin.
Grandma Fanny's first cousin is Billy Wilder. So who is Billy Wilder's parents? Fanny's...
I don't know the aunt and uncle. I don't know their name.
Oh, okay.
But his brother's name was Sam.
Sam Wilder.
Sam Wilder, I think, he may have been the one that introduced me to Pa. I'm not sure.
Okay. Interesting.
Very.
Well, I want you to be able to share some wisdom with your grandkids and great-grandkids. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions to try to get you to share some wisdom.
I don't have much.
Oh, you've got a little bit of wisdom. I'm going to ask you about marriage. What do you think is the key to you had a long, happy marriage. What's the key to a long, happy marriage, you think?
I think the important thing is honesty.
Honesty.
With each other.
Being honest with each other. That's good. And what do you want for your grandkids and for your great grandkids? What do you want them to do with their lives?
Educate mostly.
You want them to make sure they get an education?
I find I was missing. Even though I graduated, I should have gone on. Instead of thought about working, I should have gone to school.
You wish they would have gone to school? I remember, even as a little kid, I remember you and Pa telling me how important it was that I get my education and go to college.
Very important.
Pa always wanted me to go to law school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's only natural for you to want the best.
Yeah.
It's just the way you do.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. I want to make sure I asked all the questions. Can you tell me about when you were about to become a grandmother for the first time? Do you remember?
Oh, absolutely.
Tell me about that.
Well, probably was the happiest time. The anticipation, the love that you expected to expect.
Yeah.
I loved it. And there you are.
Well, you were kept waiting. You were kept waiting to become a grandmother. It was supposed to be in July.
And it was August.
And you were waiting on a job. You had to go to.
Yes, I was going. Yeah.
What was it for?
Job. I don't remember.
It was you a realtor, wasn't it, as a real estate agent, or no?
It was real estate, or maybe it was a modeling job.
I think it was real estate.
And I didn't go.
Yeah.
I said, I can't go because I'm going to be a grandma. So
Right.
later, after you were born, they called me again.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, what do you want to be remembered by? When you're not here anymore, and we talk about Ma, what do you want us to remember you by?
I never did anything that was so great to remember me by. Did I? Except having my kids, that was good.
Yeah, and you raised up kids really well that are all good people and loving people, and
that, yes.
And caring and good fathers.
That, yes.
That didn't come from nothing.
Oh, that was very good.
And you gave us all a good example of being a loving mother and wife.
And father, sure.
Yeah, you gave us that
I
example.
hope so.
Oh, you did. I know you did. Is there anything else that you want to share with your family?
The hint,
There's no hints. There's no secret.
no secret.
You could just tell them that you love them if you want. You could just tell them that you love them if you want.
That is number one, is the feeling I have for my children.
So let's do this.
And
Why don't you look right here and pretend you're looking at them and think of Eddie and Mike and Fred and Steve and tell them how you feel about them. Eddie, Mike, Fred, and Steve. Tell them how you feel about them.
Eddie and Mike and Freddie and Steve. Oh, I'm just busting with love for all of you. And wishes for your happiness and your success in life.
What have they added to your life?
Oh, you've added life to my life. I love you all. God bless you.